Gaming. Time for game 2 between Kipp and Cemo in the semifinals. The other semifinal match is going to be later this afternoon. Not too long from now, but this is the first set of this part of the playoffs. And so we're into game 2. Kipp took a win in game 1, and that was on Cemo's pick. So a big moral victory in taking that win. And now Kipp gets to decide the settings. And the screen says we're playing Chozo item randomization, light area, map randomization, and boss shuffle. So this is week 6. And these seeds tend to play out kind of linearly. So execution plays a big part, but it's also the case that your decisions are very impactful. So we'll see what's in store. Oh, and I should mention, with me is D-Web on tracking, and once again, it's Hockey Towner.
Testing, is this thing on, Aussie?
Yeah,
Sorry
there you
about
are.
that. Yeah, thanks so much. It's great to be here. And yeah, we got ourselves another race here. Race 2, Aussie.
Yeah, race 2 of potentially 3. So we're playing Chozo, and that means the important items here are going to be this Morph Ball and also the missiles down below construction zone. Those are going to be the logical items, and the other 2 are just extras.
I do love when Chozo is combined with some of the more exotic modes like Boss, Shuffle, and Light Area. I think this is a really great way to play Chozo.
Well, the tournament itself has been really cool to watch. Just all these combinations of modes. Yeah, we get to see Chozo with light area and boss shuffle. Like boss shuffle specifically makes wreck ship like a weirder play to make, whereas in normal Chozo, it's pretty valuable to go in that direction. So it really changes things up.
Yeah, I mean, to Aussie's point, it can't be understated. Like, with the boss's shuffled chat, there's no guarantee that going to Wreck Ship will unlock Wreck Ship or that going to Dragon will unlock the plasma beam. You know, so you get all these kind of curious ways of completing things out of order and kind of backdooring into Dragon or backdooring into a fully powered up Wreck Ship and things like that.
And it's also harder to prepare for bosses because you don't know what's coming up, and so like a simple boss check could turn to a time loss or a benefit. You don't know until you get there. So early on, we're going to be looking for a way to kill every boss, and going to be collecting items to that end. But right now, it's time for Bomb Chorizo again. That super pack I found.
Yeah, having supers against Bomb Chorizo makes for such a quick fight.
2 supers. And we get a wave beam. So starting off a little similarly, where we gotta go to the right for the crab door and get to leave behind some majors here.
I'd say eerily similar, Aussie. Early wave beam, but no explosives.
Yeah, true that. Early wave beam. And then E-Tank reserve for the other items. So, also stocking them up on health.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But so light area compared to full area, if Criteria normally connects to Red Tower, Wreck Ship, Torian, Green Bryn, and etc., it has to still connect to those. It's just that they're going to be at different portals off of Criteria.
Right. It's easier to follow than full area. Like, Green Bryn Star is the most likely portal that you're going to find, because there's 2 of them. From the criteria that they were at. And I think logically it had to come here. There might have been some... There's ways through Red Tower still, so take that back. But portal checks are less valuable in this mode, because you do have a better idea of where they go. I'm not sure how much I like this check down here. Right, so they don't have bombs, and that means they can't get through the wall to the left of Big Pink, and they can't check the majors, or the Chozos. They're called Chozos in this. But there's power bombs. Out of logic power bombs. Logically, I'm pretty sure they have to do Spore Spawn here. That's probably why they went for the area transition, so they wouldn't be forced into a Spore Spawn.
That makes sense. Looks like Kipp was a little undecided on whether he was going to check more in Big Pink here, because now that opens up back a Spore Spawn with those power bombs, as well as Wavegate. Although Wavegate is no longer a major item.
Yeah, we get to see Kipp saved a power bomb there by opening up the charge beam spot and the Spore Spawn bomb blocks at the same time.
That's impressive. Save a PB. I don't have anything clever to say after that, Aussie. I failed myself. Congrats, I played myself. But these 2 runners have been playing exceptionally well throughout this tournament, but especially today.
Absolutely got to be top of their game for semifinals. So we're seeing them at their best. See, a bit friendly on the ammo. Getting another super pack. That powerbomb pack at the Chozo statue was very likely to be there. So I think they had the option of skipping that. Like it was either power bombs or morph bombs. Peebs are nice.
Peebs are nice indeed. No need to check the bottom of Green Bryn. It is also not a major, but you know what it is. Is Bryn Star Reserve. That is a Chozo.
Right, this will be the last one for this area. And we're gonna probably go up the elevator. And that will be to Red Tower somewhere.
And Red Tower has at least Spazer Beam for the major checks. I should say the Chozo checks. And has to have a way to get to Kraid as well as Upper Norfair.
I think I'd like to talk about what's on these Chozos, as they get an E-tank here. So the Chozo items are going to be everything on the tracker plus Grapple X-Ray. It's going to be 2 missile packs, 2 super packs, a power bomb pack, and 3 E-tanks and reserve, I think.
So those would be the logical items necessary to complete the game, kind of bare minimum. Can be found on the Chozo statues.
Yep, that's right. At this point, they have supers and power bombs logically, so that's a lot open. And also, at least 1 E-tank.
I think Chad also pointing out that that Gauntlet is available to them now, but that just seems a little off the beaten path.
Yep, a little bit. They got 230 Gauntlet, and those transitions up in criteria, which would mainly be for a wreck ship. Another one comes back to Red Tower.
So that's one of the two logical missiles for Kipp.
Yep. They have the health for X-ray D boost, and I'm pretty sure they can both pull it off. But it looks like they don't want to go for it.
And the Chozo reserve tank for Cemo at the top of Red Tower here.
Right, so second health tank. You gotta count those for hell runs. Looking for 3 health tanks, which is either energy or reserve, to put the upper Norfair heated rooms in logic.
Those heckin' hell runs, I swear. We saw incredible kind of the top tier hell run of hell runs was with that suitless lower Norfair on the previous seed from both runners. Now finding some Meridia portals. But Kipp's on the other side of Moat. I always forget that X-Ray is a Chozo statue. That could have some hidden treasure for our runners.
It's definitely a check I like to make in Chozo. Yeah, entrance-wise, criteria is not that valuable, because it'd be for wreck ship, and we don't know what the boss there is. But there's the 2 Chozo statues, 230 and Gauntlet.
Could be vital checks this early. So our runners haven't really found anything besides Wave Beam.
We haven't seen Upper Norfair, right?
I don't think so.
So Kipp just came into criteria, and this other portal down here would be Upper Norfair. Because there's only one way into Upper Norfair and through Red Tower.
So the super missile pack at 230 here. Boy, oh boy. Pretty stingy seed early, when you say Aussie.
That'd be the second super pack. Got both of those.
Cross them
Yeah.
off the list.
Actually, it's what you do. Keep track of that. But yeah, not much really leading them anywhere, giving them movement items.
Now, what if this is screw attack, Aussie? How strange would that be?
Be helpful.
Well said. Well said.
We could be happy to see a screw attack here. Nice item, but would you want to make this entire trip for just that in a super pack?
Ooh, the grapple beam. Okay. I wonder if that means X-ray is the play.
Good point. Yeah, gives them easy access to X-ray. And light area, you can always drop down from the top of West Meridia, because one of these 2 portals at the bottom are going to be Red Tower again. Just missiles at the back of Gauntlet.
Just missiles. Kipp only going for one of them, bringing his total count to 35. Quickly farming up some power bombs from those frogs. But Cemo, they're heading up. Red Tower. And another super missile.
So Red Tower, this elevator should lead to Upper Norfair somewhere. Yeah, the cool side makes more sense because they don't have the E-tanks, really, logically. And Kipp's heading towards Rex ship. And Cemo found Krait's lair.
It looks like a Vanillatorian portal. And so that means, like you said, Nazi, this elevator, or this, I should say, portal has to be Rex ship. Yep.
Yeah, so Kipp doesn't have the health for Ridley, but could do a Dragon. Just has to be really careful about getting hit.
That Dragon could be pretty dicey, but does have a way out with that grapple beam. And best part about area rando is, the save station in Rex ship actually works.
Yeah, very helpful that it works, especially at boss shuffle. It's possible we see Kipp take a death here to surprise Ridley. But Rex ship early here is really big play. Could be a big decider in the race.
Oh my gosh. A vanilla ghost?
Gets the good entrance to Rex ship and gets the boss that powers it on. Hopefully we can see a 2-round from Kipp. He's good at those.
No question. But that also means that all of the majors, pretty much, the Chozo majors in Rex ship have to be something other than E-tanks and ammo. So this could be a really, really huge play.
Like, it is possible that Rex ship is just E-tanks, and then what Cemo's doing is right. Wait and see.
Tracker D-Way putting out that Cemo has found the last Chozo tank at Ice Beam. So Rex ship looking ripe for the picking.
Yep. Also that it's like all good majors from here. Just one last missile pack that they don't want to see. It's still pretty likely that this works out for Kipp. Like, you find Fantoon here, and it's beatable. Then there's 3 more checks for items that can be progression. Like, to get a Rex ship early, you need the good side of Rex ship, and also the right boss.
Definitely getting both of those is well routed and just a little sprinkle of luck as well.
Really farming power bombs. Doesn't really need to farm this many. Has spring ball for the sponge bath, and you don't need too many for the gravity missile location.
Operating with an abundance of caution, but that is necessary, I should say. And also, Kipp kind of, tipping his hat to Cemo as a runner when you have a lot of respect for your opponent.
Second try.
Really nice little bump up there in sponge bath from Kipp, and then making Spiky Room of Death look like an absolute piece of cake.
Yeah, that's how you really want it to go, because death comes fast in that spiky room.
Meanwhile, Cemo working on these hell runs here, farming up at the Bat Cave and a spacer
That
beam
was
for Kipp.
very nice spring ball jump across. I've seen that before.
That was awesome.
But Spazer, not the value Kipp's looking for. Gets one more check here.
Unfortunately, it is the slowest check of the three.
Right. In Major Minor, there's 2 majors up top, but Chozo is just the one. And most people like probably aren't even aware that this random missile pack has a Chozo statue. Just don't think about it.
Yeah, it's an easy one to forget for sure. But screw attack there for cemo at speed booster. So comfy item, very nice to pick up early.
Yeah, Upper North Fair has a lot you can do here, so it's very common to come here early. Like after these, just wave beams left, I guess, for Chozos. But after that, there's the Kraid boss and also Croc for a few more.
Oh, good point, Ozzy. Good point. We do have a Kraid's warehouse location, and that's one major, correct?
Right. It's
Yeah.
whatever the boss is. And so Kipp took a hit from the pancake without a suit, and that's a pile of damage. It's like 120-ish. And he's about to run through some spikes.
Godspeed, Kipp. Be careful. Only 2 hits, very nicely done, Kipp. Another energy tank for cemo, ahead of wave beam. Gonna be checking out wave beam right now.
Yep, energy tanks are in the minor pool in this, and we get a charge beam at wave.
Ooh. Okay.
Charge beam actually logically important. It's gonna logically open Croc. It's also used for Ridley and Botwin.
Right, Charossi. So you think that the seeds maybe telling our runners to go to Croc if they can find it?
Well, we'll get her answer on Kipp's side in just a second.
Space jump. Not a bad item. Like we said in the last race, really, really nice item actually.
Yeah, but is it going to be good enough? This was a lot of time spent over here.
That's a good point.
And then we're expecting Croc to have probably a suit. Either Croc or Kraid boss. Which would have to be Kraid.
So Kraid, but that, if with both of them vanilla, then you immediately know that Ridley and Dragon are flipped.
That's right. Good point. But that would be info only Kipp would have, because cemo hasn't been through Wreck Ship yet, and isn't likely to until the end of the seed. Very out of the way location.
So Asa, if you're Kipp here, what do? What's the next play?
I feel like you have to go back to to Upper North Fair. Then you're trying to skip as much as you can. Like you're trying to do what cemo wouldn't, but it's hard to know what that would be.
That's the beauty of these randomizer races, is you really have to get in the head of your opponent to try to understand what their tendencies are, what they like to do in certain scenarios, given the item distribution. Ooh.
That is our gravity suit.
Aussie with the call of the century. Grapple's got to have a suit, and it does. Gravity suit for cemo.
Yeah, betting on Croc. Okay, so you check the Kraid boss, but I guess it could be grapple. I think that was a gauntlet leading to Shack Tool. I think that's what I'm saying. Oh, have they
Yeah.
not done X-ray yet?
No, I don't think so. So this is going to be new for us. And if this is Varia suit, then that's going to give Kipp a much faster jaunt through Norfair. But as we know, Norfair doesn't really have anything.
Yeah, Kipp had a very efficient X-ray entry. I like that. Plasma beam.
Ooh, plasma.
So I think the Kraid boss is going to decide a lot from here.
It all hinges on Kraid. I should say the Kraid boss location.
Cemo can kill all the bosses now. Important to note.
And escape from them.
Yeah, and escape from them.
Nice.
Kipp's a bit low on health for Ridley. I'm not sure how many reserves he has either. So in Chozo, West Meridia doesn't have any majors, and East Meridia is Dragon Boss Plasma Shack Tool. For Plasma and Dragon, you need to wait through Batoon Hallway. But Shack Tool, we have that Grapple Beam.
Sure,
So it could be you need it to get that Grapple Beam for progression, or you could find a Dragon boss at Kraid and get around it, get around some requirements.
Good point, Aussie. But I really hope this doesn't come down to a Shack Tool check. It just feels dirty. I can't explain it.
It really even out the race.
Yeah, that's a really good point, though. That's a really good point. So we will see what the Kraid boss is from Cemo. And Kipp with a West Meridia portal there.
Taking the safety save. Does want to take another Ridley death, like last seed?
It does have excellent ammo for any boss that they come up against. Just not the... Well, I guess if you take the health... Isn't there a health recharge right before the Kraid boss door?
Yep, I expect we'll see that.
Yeah. It can be done. Our tracker D-Web pointing out in chat that Cemo kind of saved this Kraid boss check for last, whereas Kipp is doing it, I guess, first before all the things that Cemo has done that Kipp hasn't done. Boy, try saying that 5 times fast. But interested to see how this is going to shake out for these runners. It is Dragon. So we had a Vanilla Fantoon, Dragon at Kraid. So that may eliminate the need for anything to get through the Batoon hallway.
Right, and that's really big for Cemo. They can put off the criteria and wreck ship checks for now. Kipp resetting that. Doesn't want to take the time to get out, I guess.
Yeah, it looks like it. I suppose not.
Yeah, Dragon here gives Cemo the ability to get to the Dragon boss room and Plasma. But if it's Plasma, they don't really have a way out. Just have to do that frame pixel perfect wall jump. I expect Cemo knows how to do that, though.
Oh wow, Ice Beam. Nice pickup.
And of course, the item here at Dragon, Ice Beam. That's way into Shack Tool, actually,
Yeah.
logically. So may just go straight to Shack Tool if those other two checks aren't anything. Okay, so expecting to see cemo make their way to Meridia and get those checks in following Gravity Suit. But Kipp should feel behind doing Wreck Ship and not getting true progression. So it'd be really interesting to see what he decides to do.
Yeah, it's kind of like being between a rock and a hard place, I feel. Because none of these Norfair checks are going to shake out. But then, of course, Croc with the goods, with that Gravity Suit.
Wonder how much we actually need for a various skip here on Kipp's side. Like, gonna get the screw attack and charge beam. Probably Gravity Suit too. So it kind of comes down to how many E-tanks are down here.
Yeah,
And
that's
if Ridley is the boss or not.
it's a very interesting wrinkle. That's for sure.
Yeah, but that could be a way back into this.
We're gonna see a little run up there from cemo. They're gonna do the Mount Everest gravity jump here. Well, pair of jumps, I should say. You love to see it.
This one's a low ice jump.
Oh, this is tough. Oh wow, nice job, cemo.
Right, we're playing light area, so needs to like know where the transition is that goes to East Meridian. But oh, where are we going?
That's a great question. I'm not sure.
No, we're lost in the maze.
Being absorbed by the aether. Welcome in, Raiders from SpeedGaming Française. Welcome to the Super Metroid Randomizer Multi-Category Tournament 2022. We hope you're enjoying this Race 2 Best of 3 series between Kipp and cemo.
Having an exciting race here, as always. It's a Chozo light area boss shuffle. So we're seeing cemo get a little turned around by the light area part. Went to the aqueduct entrance when it's really the map room that goes to East Meridian. And maybe that's the good entrance from here. Maybe not.
It might be.
Like, Plasma's on path, but doesn't have a way out of it, as I said earlier.
Yeah.
But the difference in the runners is Kipp went to Wreck Ship early, as well as cleared up the criteria checks. So it has some majors from there. But cemo found the suit, which is over here at Croc. And waiting as Kipp makes her way to Croc. And cemo's gonna advance the true progression chain. And not doing plasma.
Yeah, I meant to ask Asa. You said that the only way out of plasma is to do a pixel and frame perfect wall jump, but can cemo kill the pirates in plasma?
Yeah, with screw attack.
Oh, right. OP.
It's a truly powerful item, that screw attack.
So versatile and so comfy. It's one of my favorites in this whole game. I hated what they did with it in the 3D Metroids, but you know what? I get it. Tough to make that jump from 2D to 3D with all these items.
Right. Cemo taking another save. Cemo's only seen the one boss, which is Dragon. And still a little worried about a Ridley fight.
Kipp just coming out firing on poor Croc with that plasma beam. Just one-shotting Croc. Didn't stand a chance.
I think you could go for a Lord Orpher here on this health, if you knew what the boss was.
What is Ridley? Ridley at Dragon.
Yeah,
And look
but
at
it's
that.
Kraid at Lord Orpher.
Incredible. Kraid at Lord Orpher, but opening with that X Factor to make up for the deficit in supers, but taking a couple hits off that nasty tail of Ridley's.
Yeah, we saw this in the last race too. Cemo taking a few hits that are hard to get away with. Also gonna see the same reserve tank trick.
Yeah, I love the judicious use of the reserve tank there, just to leave some behind. And look at that jump! Oh my gosh, what a clutch fight from Cemo! That was electrifying, Aussie.
Yeah, and once again, let's see how low this number gets.
I think that was single digits again.
Yeah, it's always gonna be single digits. That's
I
the
love
secret.
it. I love it, but just a missile. Run, Cemo, run for your life. Get out of there.
Yeah. So Kipp is gaining a lot of time throughout all this, just with space jump. Really saving time in every room.
But will it be enough? That is the question. Because I feel like Cemo's still firmly in the lead here.
Yeah, Cemo appears much closer to the progression various suit, wherever it may be. But as for the gap we're seeing, Cemo does need to go in and kill Fantoon when the time comes. And actually, right now is a decision point for Cemo. Like Plasma versus Shack Tool versus like Wreck Ship or something.
Sometimes the options can be too many. If you go off the
With some
beaten path
supers.
too far.
Yeah, we have the advantage of also knowing what Kipp knows.
That's right.
So yeah, this portal here at Aqueduct goes to the back of Wreck Ship.
So that'll be a slower entrance into Wreck Ship for Cemo. And then if they make all those checks too, that could definitely allow Kipp to catch up. Wow, look at all these raids. Welcome in SpeedGaming Portuguese and Lenofis with the raids. Thank you so much for your support. This is the Super Metroid Randomizer multi-category tournament semifinals match between Kipp and Cemo. Race 2. Best out of 3. Kipp with the first one.
We're into the semifinals now. Kipp and Cemo. Seeds 2 versus 6. And we're getting a nice clip to Shaq Tool.
This is brilliant.
Right, so for this ice clip, the X-ray helps immensely. Because you can do a forced stand-up, and that makes it easier to jump out. But looks like the slime needs to be a little higher. But without X-ray, it's pretty much pixel perfect. That should be good.
I think he's got it there. Perfect. Really nicely done, cemo. If there was a blink and you missed it fight from Kipp there. Dragon's down, having been microwaved to death.
Feeling Kipp doesn't want to do another run through Lore Norfair without Varia on this amount of health.
Yeah, I think there's a point when he got to Firefleas, he had 00 health with 2 tanks remaining. So with 5 tanks, it's pretty tight.
The reveal.
Oh my gosh! Can you believe it, Aussie?
Yeah, Shaq Tool hoarding the goods. That's
Unbelievable.
go mode.
Go mode for cemo. Yeah, paging Edenate. They love when Vari is a Shaq Tool.
Yeah. Who doesn't love a variant Shaq Tool, right?
Touche. Touche, Ozzy.
But for the race, it's gonna make the movement item difference even bigger. Because
Yes.
it doesn't have reason to check for more movement items from here. Plus the beam difference. So we have a game of Terminator, I guess.
Yeah.
Kipp is gonna be running fast and strong, and cemo has to just keep ahead.
This just got... I mean, it was an interesting race to begin with, but this is just a whole new dimension to it.
Yeah, so Kipp can do plasma. Better for cemo that Varia was that Shaq Tool, because we have had a hard time getting out of plasma with Varia. But we get to see what's here.
Yeah, what if it's something like a speed booster?
I think it has to be on the tracker. And it's high jump.
High jump, okay. I had a feeling it was one or the other.
Yeah, so actually... cemo's in wreck ship.
Okay. Yeah.
So they're going to clear this out. But the last 2 majors are going to be... a Kraid as an item, and also a screw attack. That's going to be bombs and speed.
Bombs and speed. Incredible. I think this is an okay play for cemo to go to wreck ship, as long as they don't, you know, try to grab anything. It's the only thing useful there is space jump, and that's the slowest check, and they're at a point in this race where you don't necessarily need it, although it would make Lower Norfair a lot simpler.
Yeah, it's very tied to the how the areas are connected, which route is better to take leaving East Meridia. But it's a tricky thing, for sure. It's part of what the mode is testing.
Yeah. And that's what these tournament races, these playoff races should be. is a test of the mettle of these runners. Put them through their paces.
Yeah, and then these best of threes, like, I don't know. You gotta do 3 in a row. No real breaks. But really testing how fast you can switch gears. And you also gotta be ready for everything. The format encourages switching up the modes from week to week because they're not allowed to pick the same modes week after week.
For
with the
sure,
picks.
for sure. And then if this does go to a race 3, it is randomized based on the remaining weeks that were not selected.
So today we've seen week 5 for game 1, and this is week 6.
Boy, honestly, what if we went for the clean sweep and got the week 7 settings? The kitchen sink settings.
I think everyone would be happy to get that. Week 7's always fun to see.
I love it. Fingers crossed. Although week 1, I feel like the Swiss rounds opened with a bang with week 1 settings.
Yeah, I agree completely. Like started strong settings. You had to know what's happening and just get used to it right away. And this tournament was open to runners who may not have seen area before. But well acquainted with it now.
I was about to say, yeah, you hit the nail on the head there, Aussie. They know all too well. They went to the school of light area hard knocks, or even full area for that matter. So I feel like light area is probably way more intuitive than full area. Full area is just a mystery to me. But to see some of these runners with their incredible routing where they just like, oh, they can just think on the fly and be like, oh, if I go here and then there, and based on the items I have, and then they just route to Torian just so elegantly, it's really impressive to see.
Yeah, light area just needs like a little, I don't know, explanation or a thought to how it really works. It's not super obvious your first few seeds.
So Kipp will be getting Varius suit.
And yeah, they're tied on bosses. And Cemo's going to be heading down to Lorne Orfair as soon as Kipp's done with Shack Tool. Also going to be heading to Lorne Orfair.
I sure do like Kipp's item loadout for Lorne Orfair compared to Cemo's.
Yeah, we're seeing Kipp last location bury a suit. So it feels great about that. And then Cemo with 0 movement items. So also happy with their position.
Like literally 0. It's not an exaggeration, chat.
Yeah, that's why this ending is going to be pretty interesting. Let's see if Kipp can catch up.
I think Kipp has an excellent chance of catching up given the full beam combination, the movement items, and the ammo. I mean, even with Cemo's ammo they have 40 supers. Kipp just has 45. And with a ship refill down the Torian elevator. Oh no! I take back everything I said. Oh, Kipp murdering Shack Tool in cold blood. No, of course I'm kidding. I don't take back anything I said. What did Shack Tool ever do to you, Kipp? Shack Tool made sure you got Varius suit.
Shack Tool cleared the way to Varia.
Cleared the
Presented
way.
it on a silver platter.
Our good friend and co-commentator Vincent in chat saying that it was a mercy kill from Kipp saving Shack Tool from the acid.
Yeah, this is Kipp taking the like the other path back towards West Meridia. So a different way to get back to Lord Norfair. And in light area, they know where the back entrance of Lord Norfair is, and that's the one they want to take. So they're just gonna head towards that.
Makes for a much faster lower Norfair. When you can eliminate like 4 or 5 whole rooms.
I feel like as strong as high jump is, I feel like speed would have been more meaningful find. Space jump already does a lot of the verticality, and has already been saving time for Kipp.
For sure. So I figure we said that speed has to be at Crade, or what was the other location? Or maybe it was
Screw attack.
Oh, screw attack, right? Yeah. So it's not either way, either location. It's not really an advantage to either runner.
So we're getting Zeb say that you can't get back from Croc escape door towards the high jump area. So it's going to be important for Cemo to check the Crade item, which is pretty likely, and that'd be a way back. Not sure who speed would help more.
Yeah, I'm not
High
sure
jump
either.
and speed for Kipp is really comfortable movement. Oh, Kipp's actually checking the other entrance first. This can be the front entrance of Lord Norfair.
You got to just go for it then, right? But I guess we'll find out. Maybe we will see. We will see Kipp pick up.
Yeah.
What's that?
He wants to.
Attack?
Screw, not likely to be checked. But like it is slower to go in from the front here, but it also takes time getting to the other entrance in Upper Norfair.
Has potential to cancel out, would you say?
Yeah, it definitely cancels out most of it. Not all of it, all the time.
Oh, and it is the booster. The very last item.
Okay, so surely Kipp gets that too. It's like 50-50 to be speed, and speed's pretty good. And we're gonna have Kipp with all the movement items and Cemo with speed and no high jump.
Which is probably worse than not having speed, wouldn't you say, Aussie?
Yeah, especially for this escape out of Lord Norfair. Some awkward jumps coming up. But there is a use for speed coming up, and that's going to be to get to the high jump area. You can either go through like the Croc escape room with a very tight short charge, or go up a little past that and take the speedway. Could even go left to the Crumble Tower. But I think that's less likely.
If I'm Cemo, I'm taking the Frog Speedway for sure. Don't need to be mucking around with super tight short charges. Although I don't know what Cemo's experience is with short charges. From what I've seen, they can do speed zap skip like it's second nature. So, but for me, I gotta play the averages.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Croc escape would be faster, but very hard short charge to do. But I'm sure Cemo's can practice things like that.
No question, no question. Both these runners, all the runners that made even the playoffs, have really impressed in this tournament. And that's not to take a single thing away from the runners that did not make the playoffs. That it was incredibly, incredibly competitive. I think there were, gosh, were there like 16 or 17 total entrants in the play-in race or something? There's a ton.
Yeah, just the play-in race itself. Just a list of people who could have won it all, but didn't quite make it through.
That is a cool thing about this tournament too. There are cash prizes for the, I think for the top, at least the top 4 finishers. Chat, any TO in chat can correct me if it's the top 8 finishers, but there's also a RGB modified SNES Junior up for grabs for the first place winner, which is a really nice prize.
Yeah. Then also on the table is a spot in SG Live with the in-person event.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know that. That's terrific.
Yeah, so a bit of a tie-in to that event. Expect to see some of these top 4 there. Gonna have a similar mode set. I think it's just no area randomizer at SG Live.
Aww. We love area though.
Yeah. It's very fun to be watching these. A little bit hard to go back to vanilla map, really. Yep. Everyone left in the tournament is top 4, so happy to be here. And cemo needs to find their way back to criteria. Can't be losing time rechecking entrances.
Yeah, this is giving Kipp a really good chance here, and Kipp with these moon items is going to be able to exit Norfair a lot quicker.
Red Tower does connect to criteria. To the moat, was it?
I think so.
Yeah, can't quite remember where all the connectors go. But that's another miss.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
If Kipp knows where to go, plus with that beam combo, plus baby skip potential. But cemo has found criteria at the moat.
Right, it's Vanilla Torian.
That's right, Vanillatorian for this seed.
Yeah, we can start counting like time saves that Kipp still has like, within Torian itself. The baby skip, also beam damage on Mother Brain, and you can be more comfortable with the Metroid rooms, like, having all the items.
58-19 for cemo. But Kipp is hot on cemo's heels, having made it to the landing site.
Yeah, kind of feels like Kipp's close enough to overtake.
Yeah, he just might. He just might.
Kipp's a fast runner. But cemo, quality runner too. Has this lead. Just gonna shoot through the Metroid rooms. However, does need to watch their super count because that's gonna be a big part of their damage on the Mother Brain fight.
Full ammo for Cemo entering Baby Skip, or perhaps Baby Skip Skip. But Kipp's into Metroid rooms and just plowing through them.
But with that high jump, not really worthwhile to even attempt a baby skip here. If you
Right.
can pull it off. Simo being the one who could maybe pull it off.
So Kipp had a little bit of difficulty in that Metroid Room 1, having to resort to power bombs. Didn't have normal bombs to shake it off.
We're seeing him go for it.
This is incredible. Oh, so close, Aussie. Cemo on that baby skip attempt, down to the last jump.
I really wanted to show it to us that it could be done, but not today.
Not today, Aussie, but look at this. Another grab from Kipp there in Metroid Room 4, but still entering into baby skip with full supers. That's going to erase a little bit of time here, because Cemo has to recharge on health.
Yeah, Kipp's baby skip can be very important. The beam difference makes up most of this gap that they currently have. So it's gonna really come down to the baby skip.
Wow.
There it is.
Well executed from Kipp.
Yeah, it's a skip. Kipp's done many, many, many times.
Very nicely done. And Cemo's through on that Zeb skip, but Kipp just really making up some time here.
So Samo's a little bit more than half of Mother Brain 2. Charge Ice Wave is a good beam, but it's still however many shots. 90?
Oh gosh, 90 shots.
Maybe that's 100 for no ammo, so 50.
50 shots. But Kipp with that full beam combination is going to be 20 shots, so Kipp going to take the lead here. Kipp through the catch-up phase, about to take the rainbow beam. Cemo, though, they're still landing those charge wave ice shots into catch-up phase.
The last little bit of the fight, both runners hit the Mother Brain at the same time, and that's where Kipp took the lead.
Wow. Incredible, incredible stuff.
Like, the entire race has been building up to right now, really. Ever since Kipp decided to go to wreck ship early on. And only get space jump out of it. And that made all the time back over the course of this last hour.
Cemo did get through. That was a really quick second half of that fight. And now into the rainbow cutscene. But it's not going to be enough.
Just watching cutscenes here. No player gameplay at all. Then escape coming up. Kipp's also gonna have a easier time with that as well. So it looks like Kipp is gonna be taking this one through the Mother Brain fight. The last place where this can go wrong. So we're just gonna see some nice clean escape with all the items. And then I guess we get to compare it to Semo's escape with just speed and no other movement items. Much easier to make mistakes with that particular item set. But very interesting race. Just the movement items in really bad places, and how over the course of the whole seed, space jump on its own carried Kipp through the seed. What a powerful item. I'm sure it's his new favorite.
Gotta agree with you there, Aussie. If it's not Kipp's favorite, it might be after this series.
That's Kipp entering the ship, and it's going to take game 2, time of 105.50. GG's to Kipp, and advancing to the finals. Opponent to be determined. The other semifinal match is actually going to start very soon.
That's right. We've seen at least one of its competitors in chat during this series. That's going to be between Azure and Nevdi, but cemo is into the parlor, Aussie, bringing it on home.
Cemo, just a little bit behind. It doesn't quite hit it. And that's a finish time of 106.41 for cemo. So, GG, good run the tournament.
GG's cemo, and we are joined now by today's winner and advancing to the finals, Kipp. GG's, Kipp.
Hey, Hockey. Hey, Aussie. Thank you very much. How are y'all?
Doing pretty good.
Doing good here, Kipp. How you doing? How you feeling?
Doing pretty good. I feel really happy to have won this match. This was a really tough one. cemo was the overall number 2 seed, and I think going into this match, he was 10-1 in 11 races in this tournament. And let me tell you, for those of you that don't know, going 10-1 in 11 games in Super Metroid Randomizer is not something that's easy to do, and it doesn't happen by accident. So I knew going into this was going to be a really, really tough matchup. And I practiced really hard. I kind of feel like I am rounding into shape at the right time. I think I've gotten steadily slightly better over the course of the playoffs, and I've been practicing a lot. So, and both of those seeds were very, very interesting. And I am very excited to go back, in particular, and watch this last one back. There's all kinds of stuff I could say about the seed, but yeah, I'm happy to move on to the finals. Really excited.
Yeah, that game 2 is really fun to watch, especially where there's big divergence, and all you really got that was like the space jump. It seemed like the biggest item, with the lack of movement items throughout the whole seed.
Yeah, you know what's interesting? When I did wreck ship, that early and saw a Fantoon, I was like, oh wow, like this is pretty big that I came here. But then after I cleared wreck ship and got Spring Ball, Spazer, which then immediately got replaced by Plasma, and then Space Jump, which in a lot of ways kind of replaces some of the utility of Spring Ball, I was like, oh my God, this is a really bad result, because if he didn't come over here, I don't think Space Jump's going to be enough to like help me, get back in this race. But ironically, the rest of the seed was so spread out and like without a lot of movement items that I think the Space Jump actually ended up making a big difference. So it was really interesting seed.
Yeah, so also joined by cemo here. So GG to you, and good races.
GGs, or thanks for the GGs, GG Kipp. I'm looking forward to watching this back. You're a big name in Super Metroid and Super Metroid Randomizer, so I was looking forward to this race, and I'm glad that the races seem to be pretty close. So like I said, I'm looking forward to watching them back. I watching the race. I felt extra bad about some like mistakes I made in like West Meridian stuff when it was so close.
Yeah, man, GG. One thing I do want to point out about Cemo, y'all gonna have to forgive me. I think Sam has been in the crate for a while, and she's up here begging me to go out. So sorry if you hear some dog whining. But at the end of Cemo's last race, he said something about, I think maybe Hockey, you might have even been on the comms for this. They asked him who did he want to play in the semis, and he said Kipp before I had gotten past Derp. And I'll be honest, that actually, I thought that was really fun and cool because he wasn't like calling me out. He was like, I really want to play Kipp because he's the champion. So I thought that was really cool. I really appreciate your competitive spirit. And yeah, man, I feel fortunate to have defeated you. You've had an excellent tournament, and I'm glad that you get another match in the bronze.
Yeah. Sorry, Simo, go ahead.
Yeah, bronze. It's not quite the same as fighting for gold, but I'm still looking forward to it. Whoever I end up getting, I think is going to be a pretty good race.
Yeah, tell me a little bit, Simo. Like, tell me about this last seed, because by the looks of it, I'm looking at the restream now. We have like very different item sets. So tell me a little bit about how you played it.
I went down, and then I went. Like, I don't check portals super thoroughly when I'm doing like a light area like this. Although I did make some mistakes with remembering where some Meridia portals were, but we had to go through Green Brain, right? We were kind of set up from the start to go one way, and then I made sure to go to Red Tower. I ended up the last transition I checked ended up being Norfair, which is a little bit unfortunate. I went right into the hell runs. I did skip doing early X-ray. I figured, well, maybe Kipp will go for this, and I'll be able to like get a small time advantage out of that. Although it sounds like you just did it with space jump or something.
Yeah, I ended up full clearing the game in this one, except for the only item I didn't check was screw attack. Although I did go buy it, I ended up doing the Lower Norfair like entry portion. That's where I entered Lower Norfair and then exited I kind of basically did it the vanilla way, so I did run by it, but by that point I knew it was only speed or bombs that were left. And I just decided like, well, if speed's down there, like I don't even really know if I can I might can get back the time if I go pick it up, but I'll just sort of hope that speed is at Crade and check that one. And that's ended up being what happened. But yeah, dude, those two seeds were really, really challenging and interesting. That I did a bunch of week 6 seeds this week in preparation, and that one was by far, I think, the most challenging in terms of how it could have played out. So yeah, man, that was exciting. That was a great series.
Yeah, you seem to have found the path that got you all the good items, and then I just had nothing going through the seeds. So I probably had like a much more efficient route, but like just because of how you had to like go down and then come back up through Meridia and then head to Shack. So I'm sure like my ice clip or something I didn't do very quickly, so that probably wasted some time as well.
Yeah,
But
I thought about that. I think Space Jump, it's really wild, man, because I think I said this maybe before you got here. Like, I full cleared Wreck Ship really early in that seed. And when I didn't get anything good, because I got Spring Ball, Spazer, and then we got Plasma like right after. And then Space Jump was at like the gravity location. And I just remember thinking like, oh no, like if he didn't come do this too, then I don't think I got enough of a payout to like make a difference. But as it turns out, I'd be interested to sort of like go and like really break this one down, because I bet that I made the most time up against you in Meridia, because Meridia with no movement items is awful. So I bet that's where the space jump probably helped the most.
There are a
Yeah, I'm sure. Like just getting to some of the doors is quite slow, and just going through a lot of the rooms. Or just going through Coliseum. You know, you probably saved like 15 seconds, 20 seconds in that room alone.
Yeah, but yeah, dude, GG. Like I was really, really pumped about this one all week. I kind of said that before the the playoffs officially started, when we got our seating, I was telling some people that like kind of my dream scenario, like if I were to make it and win the championship, my dream scenario would be get past the first round and then be able to play the third, the second, and the first seed all back to back. But Derp ended up beating Mega Man 2. But honestly, I had Derp as like one of the best 3 or 4 players in this tournament anyway. So getting past him was really exciting. And then getting to play you for the first time in like an official one-on-one series was something I really look forward to. So it was a lot of fun. And yeah, man, I think this series could have gone either way.
You're too kind. I felt a little bit like an underdog going into it, just because of like the pedigree, I'll call it. But I felt pretty good going into it. I felt like I had a good chance, and I'm pretty happy with how close everything was. Although I would have liked the result to have been different.
Yeah, of course. Well, anyway, go ahead, Hockey. Sorry.
I was gonna say true, Cemo, and I wanted to give you a big GGs. I think you've had a really amazing tournament, and you've provided some absolutely riveting and spellbinding races throughout. So thank you for your participation, and we look forward to seeing you in action in the bronze match.
Yeah, thank you so much for the commentary, Hockey and Aussie. Like I said, I'm looking forward to watching it back, and I know you guys are a good comms team. You have good commentary. Hockey, always exciting to watch, and Aussies always have some insightful commentary. So it's a good duo. And I want to shout out D-Web for tracking, volunteering to track all 3 games, although there was only 2. And Kipp for organizing and for being my opponent, and the rest of the organizer team. Thank you so much for putting this on, and have a great day, everybody. Look forward to the next match with Nevdi and Asger.
Thanks, Simo. And yeah, I'd like to thank some people too. Number one, Aussie Hockey and D-Web. You know, obviously really appreciative of you guys donating your time to, you know, put on a great restream. So I'm excited to listen back. I want to give a special shout out to Aussie for a minute. I reached out to Aussie this week. I had some things with different seeds and settings that I was working on, and I really needed someone to like run the seeds against me, whether at the same time or async. And I think Aussie is like one of the best players there is. So I was like, all right, I'm going to see if Aussie will help me out. And he did, and he gave me some notes about it. So I appreciate that, Aussie. I might be hitting you up again this week. I want to shout out my buddy, Mass Hysteria. He is one of the singular people who has helped me the most, not only in this tournament, but like all my previous randomizer tournaments. A lot of times I'll send him like, hey man, I need some information on like how, you know, these percentages work out or whatever. And he does some stuff with his computer programming to kind of help me out, which is very, very nice. And then last, I just want to make a quick point. I will be happy no matter who I get to play. I'm really excited to watch Asger and Nevdi. If I get to race Asger, that would be cool because, you know, he and I have a pretty rich history in terms of our rivalry and playing each other a lot. But I will say this, before the tournament started, I picked Nevdi to win. I didn't put it in I didn't do an official prediction on Challenge, but I thought Nevdi had the best chance to win. And if he were to get through tonight, that would be really exciting for me because he's the number 1 seed. And also, so far, I think he and I have raced each other, I want to say 7 times in randomizer tournaments, and I'm 7-0. So to me, it would be really like kind of cool, like if he got to the championship, and then if he won his first championship, for him to like do it against me. I think that would be really cool. And then secondly, obviously, I want to play the best player. So I'm really, really happy. Like, you know, I'm very, very excited, and no matter who I get to play, it'll be a really fun time.
Well said, Kipp. Well said. And we'll have you waiting in the wing. They're waiting for your opponent. And that match between Ashdar and Nevdi, it will be right here on SpeedGaming. And it's coming up quick. It's already almost 10 to 6 Eastern Daylight Time. So stay where you are, SpeedGaming chat, if you want to see more Super Metroid Randomizer multi-category tournament action. So, Aussie, it's been a pleasure doing comms with you. I guess take us on out if you'd like to.
Sure thing, Hockey. And also, it's been wonderful doing comms with you as well. So thanks to D-Web for taking care of the tracking. It's always complicated trying to follow these seeds without the help of the trackers. So a great job there. Thanks to Kipp Cemo for putting on a great race. Very interesting to watch. Both of them were. So happy to have been here to calm those. But this has been the first of these semifinals matches. The next one will be up, is that 20 minutes from now on this channel? So again, stay here and watch Nebdi versus Ashdar finish out the semifinals and find out who is advancing, who's continuing to the finals of Super Metroid Randomizer Multi-Category Tournament 2022. And that's it from us.